And we are just at the halfway point coming up here for our 30 lap Evergreen Legends main event. And we've learned a lot in this race thanks to Jeff Knight, and got some understanding on how these guys set their cars up, what they're looking for when they go into a turn, as we see the 11C of Chad Sinner in that top spot. And outside of Chad Sinner is the 11S of Scott Main. That'll make up the top two. And we'll bring you the rest of the lineup as they make it through. But we're back underway.
Well, if that works there, the Scott Main kind of threw a high move coming off the floor there towards the stop, and then he ducked underneath him coming across the stripe.
Bo Stevenson in that third spot as he got a really great restart that time. But, boy, I tell you, I'm so impressed with that 11C of Chad Sinner, last year's champion, and a family-run operation, too, because the Sinners have been running Legends in the touring divisions with the Columbia River Legends and the old Northwest Legends for a lot of years. So a good brain trust in that pit.
Well, they have this race well in hand. There's no doubt their equipment's good, their setup is good, and the man behind the wheel is he's solid.
Yes, he is.
The battle that I'm seeing is second. We're stronger in different parts of the track, and right now they're spread out, but I think you'll see Bo when he gets a little bit more of an opportunity to run this high line and then pull the car down. He gets a run on him, and he kind of whittles away at that advantage that Scott has over him there in second place.
And we are at the halfway point of our 30-lap feature for the Evergreen Legends. And I think what happens at this point in the race when they're warmed up, they're comfortable in the car, now is when they start to look and see what kind of changes they can make. And you saw Scott Main really go up high into turn number one that time.
Yeah, there's enough distance between each car now to where they're starting to search around. They're saying, hey, is their grip up in the top of the track? Is it better in the bottom of the track? So as long as they're not giving up a bunch of yardage to the guys behind them, they're willing to search around, see if they can find more grip, because, with the wet condition, more grip is king.
Right.
And so, the track, the water tends to weep down from the top to the bottom, so you'll start seeing them fish around to the top, searching for maybe just a whiff of dryness.
These guys run radial tires, and they are the same tire they run no matter what condition the track is in. And it's another reason that makes this a fairly economical course. You can get into this for a pretty decent amount of money. You can't really buy a lot of speed equipment for these things, so your costs are kept down. They're easy to maintain. They're easy to store. They don't take up a lot of room, which is really attractive to a lot of people when they run these things. And it's the type of class that once they get into it, a lot of guys stay in it because the competition is phenomenal. And as you can see right now, the action, when there's a lot of cars out there, can really get tight.
Yeah, it looks like Sinner's just managing his lead right now. I would say that he's probably not pushing, just managing that gap between him and Scott Main there in second. And looks like Scott Main's got second place well in hand now as Bo's kind of faded a little bit. But, anything can change with 10 to go here.
We are on lap number 20
that's some
out
good
of 30.
racing right there.
Yeah, it is. As they come out of turn number 4 on 3/8. We still have our NASCAR mini stock main event coming up after this. That's going to be a fun race to watch too. And I think these guys having out on the track, the mini stock guys are probably pretty happy. They're the last ones to run tonight. Doesn't look like the rain is having much of an effect on it right now. So they're getting a lot of that track dried off, as we're going to have 9 to go when they come across the start-finish line.
That's a good battle here. Cameron Main here. Scott's son is leading this group with Aaron Flett there in the 98 and Cole Alton there in the 09. Alton kind of looks for that high groove again.
It is all Chad Sinner in that green and white Evergreen Legend. As you see the 11 of Scott Main come across, he's the one with the professor on the front window. That was so cool to see. But, and again, this is one of them deals where these guys, they all kind of pit together. Very few of them pit in a different spot. So they're all so willing to help in this. We got, looks like one of the other number.
That might be Cameron.
Yeah, Cameron Main in the 13
Scott's
got off
son.
track. and he's on the back stretch heading back to the pits, and he will call it a night. We're coming up on 5 laps to go when Chad Sinner makes his way across the start-finish line. These guys turn some pretty impressive lap times, too. And it'd be fun. I've seen these guys on play days and whatnot go out and run with the mini stocks and just have a blast with them and keep up.
Sure. You saw Cameron Main there go over the banking. I've done that before. It's steeper than it looks.
Yeah. 3 cars going into turn number 3.
Estrin here. Estrin's in a battle here. He's kind of moved up on these guys. He was behind this group, and now he's to the inside there of the 09 of Alton. And he's battling flat here for this position.
Laps winding down as we see the leader.
Sinner taking some chances here, getting on the outside there. He makes a lot of room, gets around him high.
Does a nice job coming off the turn. And that's a good example. You just saw it there of how coming off of the high spot of turn number 2 is really a good advantage for you.
Absolutely. I think there's more grip up there in turn 1 and 2 up high, and so therefore they're getting a better shoot down the straightaway. Yeah, see how high he was right there on entry? Yeah, there's getting to be more grip up high in that third groove, and it's helping them get their shoot speed better down here.
You'll hear race car announcers using the term, this guy is on cruise control, and there's no better example than what you're seeing on your screen right now. The 11C of Chad Sinner as he came out of turn number 4, just absolutely dominating this 30-lap Evergreen main event. White flag will be coming out next time by as we're working lap number 29 out of 30. We'll take it down trackside to Kyler Hope when they bring the cars up after this race is over. As you see Ernie Estrin down on the inside, the 98 of Aaron Flett getting a nice run on the outside, but we should be able to take it back up front as we should see the white flag out this time for the 11C of Chad Sinner.
A lot of battling going on.
Yeah, good-looking pack of cars now as they're working out of turn number 2.
Chad Sinner, he's got his head rested back on the headrest. He's pointed his fingers. He's breathing easy, and he's cruising to a W here on opening night, Evergreen Speedway.
There we go.
There's a white flag
right now for the 11C of Chad Sinner. Second spot in the 11S will go to Scott Main. Look at Ernie as he has moved up into...
He's doing well, doing
very well. Should be showing Bo Stevenson in that second spot, or the third spot still. As they come out of turn number 4, there he is, the 11C, your winner tonight, Chad Sinner in the Evergreen.
Well done, Chad.
Legends.
Great preparation. Just picking up where he left off last year, winning the championship.
Yep,
Ernie
done.
just down to the inside there.
I think Ernie may have probably the biggest smile when they get out of these cars. So we'll get him up front there, and we'll take it down to Kyler Hope here just in a few seconds and get some reactions. There should be some pretty interesting comments from these gentlemen. As
Great run by Ernie there, even though he spun there at the last, give up a few positions, really battled hard. That was excellent to see.
As your winner makes its way up, we want to remind you next week here on CW11, we'll be bringing our big 4th of July show to you with school bus figure eights. We'll have the debut for 2020 for our figure 8 divisions. If you've never seen a figure 8 race, it's going to be pretty cool. So we'll get them up here. We'll get Kyler Hope down there, but boy, we're sure happy you're joining us here tonight.
Chad Sinner climbs out and on the title defense already, coming home with the first victory of the year, defending champion. Does that kind of just bring a little bit more momentum into the year, or is just rolling off last year's momentum?
I'm still kind of rolling off last year's momentum. It's good. We switched to new tires this year. It's good to try them out, especially in the rain. And these are the dry tires, and just made the best of it. I haven't raced out here in the rain in a while, so it was fun to have a little fun in the rain.
So some new faces in the field tonight. Did that kind of scare you, or is that kind of nervous when you see some rookies around you, or do you like the challenge with all the new competitors coming out?
I personally like the challenge. It can be scary sometimes because you don't know what to expect all the time, but you just make the best of it and drive around them.
Your 2019 defending champion, Chad Sinner, starts the year off with a victory. All right, right, Scott Main coming home second tonight.
Yeah.
A very wet track. Walk me through the evening.
Very, very wet. Definitely very wet. You know, Chad ran a good race. Congratulations to him. I don't know how he did it on the Hoosiers for sure. It was extremely slick. Turn 1 had a lot of grip in it, and 3 and 4 was pretty slick getting through it overall. But, you know, if you keep your throttle good, you know, and keep control, life is good.
How did it feel coming out after the elongated off season with the whole pandemic going on? How does it feel to finally be back at a racetrack?
It is fantastic. I can't thank Evergreen Speedway and all the tracks that have done what they needed to do to make this actually happen, because we have been ready for months to get out here and itching to do it, and we thank them and all our supporters doing that. So got to thank my wife in all of this as well. So it's, you know, COVID is challenged us for sure, but we're working through it just so we can be out here every weekend that we can.
All right, Scott Main coming home second tonight. Very ecstatic. Bo Stevenson coming home third place tonight. Obviously a lot of challenge with the conditions, but how did it feel getting back to a racetrack?
Man, it feels fantastic. Can't thank Evergreen Speedway enough for everything that they've done so far this year, and yeah, it's great to be out here. Really, it is.
What did you need to maybe advance 1 or 2 more positions up on the podium, or was there nothing really you could do and just come home third place the best you can?
Well, after our heat race, me and Scott were battling out 1 and 2, and we made a couple of changes, and we definitely went the wrong way. We still held on to third, but yeah, we should have just left the car alone. But here we are. So we're third. We'll take it.
Bo Stevenson coming home third place in Evergreen season opener.
Thank you very much, Kyler. Good job tonight. Good job to all 3 of you gentlemen. And you saw the professor sign on there, but we'll see a lot more of those guys as the season goes on. Coming up, our final main event here out at Evergreen Speedway with the NASCAR mini stock main event, and a lot of fast cars. These are all guys that have had a ton of experience coming up, and we're going to be bringing that to you here just in a few minutes right after this break. So happy you're joining us here on CW11, and we'll be right back here at Evergreen Speedway on CW11.